I'm scared. What's going on?
You remind me of this one guy.
Oh yeah, they video it. Wait, what did they video?
The graduation process they were doing.
Oh, the process? Short hair.
Wait, watch that. Can't wait for that. Oh my god. I tried my sister.
You should get them so you can
It's so bright.
Yes! That guy!
You look like Joe from Impossible. Don't agree to this.
Go!
He's doing it wrong.
No, I'm out of this picture. Illegally gambling. We are illegally
Don't put me in a video where I'm dealing blackjack.
No. That's wrong. We're gambling. We're illegally
Gambling in school.
Hey, we don't have money. We're not gambling. We're just playing cards.
Gambling in the play hard. I'm almost done.
I bet my phone.
Hey, 20!
Everyone bet their phones. Guys, can you guys look behind me? That's cringy.
It is cringy, you're right.
Where's the coochie? The little button's not there.
I'm at 17.
I could have.
I was saying that earlier, and my girl was like, can I practice how to do it? And she's like,
Oh, I need 20.
yes.
Wait, who's your
17? You're hitting on 17. He's hitting on 17.
Never hit on 7.
Go. Give me that.
Skip through that and go.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank
So
you.
that two in the end.
Okay, thank you.
Because then Sal will work.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the closing exercises of the Wyndcroft School. Today we celebrate the first class of our second century. The class of 2020 will now enter and make an honor guard for the class of 2019. For the entrance of the class of 2019, we will hold all our applause until the graduates are all on the stage. Emmanuel Joseph Geishauser. Nicholas Edward Valeray. Kelly Ann Dempsey. Isabella Michelle Conway. Colin Andrew Bansi. Kushi Dipin Patel. Romil M. Shaw. Gavin Summers Smith. McKay Elise Allen. Jake Robert Mitchell. Patrick John Dahlhoff. Carly Francis Mullaney. Christian Joseph Finelli. Isha Ampani. Haley Chevelle Berry. Madeline May Rolfing. Nina Salahuddin Ali. Janelle Page Robinson. Juliana Tatiana Zweifel. Alexander Joseph Singh. The class of 2019. Let us sing together the traditional song. The words are in your program. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song now. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. It is our tradition now to say a prayer for our graduates. Father, we offer a prayer of profound gratitude on this joyful day. Gratitude for all the Wyndcroft years. Gratitude for our teachers who have helped us to learn. Gratitude for our friends who have supported us. Gratitude for our parents and families who have loved us through it all. We ask your blessing on each one of us in the years ahead. Amen. You may be seated. We begin this morning with an address to the class of 2019, and I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Jerry Mullaney, Secretary of the Wyndcroft Board of Trustees.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome the class 2019 family, extended family, friends, faculty, and staff. It is a great honor to be speaking to all of you at Wyndcroft's 100th commencement. This is a particularly special day for me as my daughter Carly is graduating today. Given my professional commitments this week and next, I did not think that I had time to pull this speech together despite my daughter's request. But like so many fathers in this room, and as my wife always reminds me, I am so incredibly weak and incapable of ever saying no. So here I am. 12 years ago, my wife Dana and I attended an orientation in this very room to consider sending our daughter to Wyndcroft. We quickly realized that with all other attendees, we shared a common interest regarding our children's educations. 11 years later, we have zero regrets and are so thankful that we made the decision to enroll our daughter. We have made great friends and have many wonderful memories from our time here. Frankly, I do not know if I could have imagined a better environment for my children. I probably speak for all parents present here this morning when I say that there was never a single day that passed where I worried about the safety and well-being of my children. Similarly, there was never a day that passed where I questioned whether my children were receiving a superior education. Regrettably, I have taken these huge responsibilities for granted during the past 11 years. Today, however, and on behalf of all parents and students, I would like to personally thank Mrs. Walter, Mrs. Dunn, the entire faculty and staff for the care and success of our children. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. To the class of 2019, on behalf of everyone in attendance today, we are so proud of you. Your class is exceptionally gifted. Each and every one of you are moving on to top-notch secondary schools where you will have many opportunities. Now is your time to pursue your passions and work toward greatness. William Shakespeare once said, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." In life, we cannot count on being born great or having greatness thrust upon us, but always, always remember that the opportunities to achieve greatness are within your grasp. Keep in mind that many of our leaders and other famous people started their lives as an average person like you and me. Despite the failures and mistakes that you will make, and although you may be average, we find that average can achieve greatness, whether recognized by the world or just a few. In the words of Charlie Day, better known as Charlie Kelly, from the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, people will tell you to do what makes you happy. But a lot of this has been hard work, and I'm not always happy. I don't think you should just do what makes you happy. I think you should do what makes you great. Do what's uncomfortable and hard and scary, but pays off in the long run. Without this struggle, What is your success anyway? I agree with those words, but in addition to hard work, I believe that greatness comes from our friends reaching out to us and others, those who go out of their way to be thoughtful and to practice being non-city. The way in which you treat others during your life speaks volumes about your character, and your character will in large part determine your greatness. If there is anything you take away from here today, remember that to leave a legacy and achieve greatness is to leave those with whom you cross paths a little more happiness and hope. Your time here will not be remembered by grades, popularities, likes, and favorites, but by relationships, the kind of person you are. These are legacies. You students are truly the best that the world has to offer. Leave this great school today knowing that you have acquired all the tools necessary for the next step in life. Be confident and work hard. Never doubt yourselves or question your ability to achieve. Limit your Snapchats. Be ambassadors of goodwill and remember to practice non-city. Never forget Wyndcroft and the profound relationships, memories, and knowledge that you have gained from here. Do not succumb to peer pressure. Be adventurous and forever embrace life. Never associate with bad people or put yourselves in a position where bad things can happen. Always, always listen to your mother, which is something you may not truly appreciate until age 30. And most importantly, always strive for greatness. Congratulations to the class of 2019.
At this point in any graduation program, there's usually an invited speaker. At Wyndcroft for several years now, we have decided that it is much more important to dedicate all the available time for speeches of the graduates themselves. And so now I invite each member of the class of 2019 to come up and say a few words. Our first speaker will be Mina Ali.
I remember coming home from pre-K and my parents asking me, "What did you do at school today?" I told them, "What happens in pre-K stays in pre-K." From then on, my parents knew that Wyndcroft was the perfect school for me. Thank you to Mrs. Musser, Mrs. Kolars, Mrs. LaGuardia, Mrs. Smoyer, Mrs. G, Fly Eagles Fly, Mrs. Rodaval, Mrs. Paulus, Mrs. Harrison, Mr. Lay, and Madame Russell for helping me through the years at Wyndcroft. But I would like to share the best of the memories with you today. I remember that I got in the 100 Club on my first try in pre-K, and along with that, my pre-K graduation. I thought that would probably be the biggest thing that I'd do in my life, but fast forward to now, I'm graduating 8th grade and going on to high school. My biggest accomplishment in 1st grade was probably never getting on yellow, ever, since I was such a good kid. 2nd grade was filled with bingo to help us learn and have fun at the same time. One of the reasons I wanted Mrs. Smoyer was because we played bingo all the time. 3rd grade. Okay then. Yeah. It was a great year. We just can't speak of it. 4th grade prepared me for upper school. Then it happened. Upper school. I had a lot of support so I wouldn't go crazy. 6th grade drove me to a point where all I did was complain in advisory, so I would like to apologize to Mrs. Harrison for whining. 7th grade went by so fast that I barely remember it happened. But then 8th grade happened. I got to drop piano. If I could change anything that happened, I wouldn't. I'm running out of time, so I have to talk quickly, but I also have to try not to cry. Now the thank yous. I'd like to thank everyone who has helped me become who I am today. Thank you to the graduating class of 2019 to make these few years so special. I would also like to thank my best friends in the whole world. You know who you are. But I would also like to say something about Bella and Jules, since we're going to school about 70 miles apart. You guys have made my life so much happier. Bella, I love how we can goof around, and Jules, I love how we can just roast each other. I'll miss you guys so much that words couldn't describe the feeling. Thank you to my parents for helping me with everything. I'd have a project due, and they'd stay up with me to help me finish it. Thank you so much. And lastly, thank you to my sister, Jenna. You and I have such a weird sibling relationship. It's either, I'll help you hide the body, or don't even breathe in my direction. My Wyndcroft career is coming to an end, but my high school career is at the Hill School. It's just beginning. With old ends comes new beginnings. I hope I didn't cry too much. Now I'd like to introduce McKay Allen.
It's September 6, 2009, and I'm walking into my first day of early childhood with my older brother by my side. Not knowing what to expect, I could not imagine that 11 years later, I would be standing on this very stage reading my graduation speech. It feels like yesterday that I brought my best friend, my blanket, with me to pre-K class. I could not have imagined this graduation standing in front of my classmates, my family, and my friends. My time at Wyndcroft has been filled with both great things and some small bumps in the road. But the relationships I've created with both my classmates and my teachers are ones that I will cherish forever. I've learned that it's important not to worry about small things, but instead learn from my mistakes. I'll never forget the incredible memories I have made. Not just field trips, but also small moments in this very school I will cherish forever. I admit, sometimes I felt like I did not belong here, and I barely had confidence to become the person I wanted to be. But now I am filled with emotions because I never realized that I would be the person I am today while standing here. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone who has helped me throughout this journey, specifically Colin, Jake, and Carly, the lifers. Thank you for being... Thank you for being there for me for these past 11 years. It's rare to be in someone's class for this long, and I cannot believe we're all going to the same high school next year. You guys truly have made me into who I am today. To my teachers, thank you for believing me and for helping me grow into the person I am today. Mrs. Harrison, thank you for an amazing 6th grade advisory, for all your pep talks when I needed them. Dr. Johnson, thank you for teaching me the subject I've grown to love. Mr. Doris, thank you for always believing in me and giving me the confidence to do anything I put my mind to. Mr. Willie and Mrs. Nyman, thank you for always putting a smile on my face and being so kind. The whole community will miss you both. To my whole class, we have made it so far all together, and I will miss you all greatly. Mom and Dad, thank you for supporting me in all that I choose to do and being there when I need it. I love you guys. Luke, thanks for being a great role model for showing me what life is all about. And lastly, Wyndcroft, thank you for all these years. I've truly cherished every moment. Okay, maybe not every moment, It was hard at times, but the struggles were worth it. You have been my home for so long, and you have prepared me well. As I stand here today, I realize that I am leaving something that has been a part of me for so long, but I'm ready to move on to the next chapter of my life. As Winnie the Pooh says, how lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. I would now like to introduce Isha Ambani.
Before I even came to Wyndcroft, I sat through my sister's graduation 4 years ago. Watching that class deliver their speeches and say their goodbyes as they continued on their journey to high school made me feel happy that I would soon get to go to a school where I could make strong connections with the community as a whole. I walked in for my first day of 5th grade, and although it was raining, that was not enough to dull the smile on my face. That day introduced a lot of new things that seemed foreign to me. Seeing the grades above me showed me that I would have to get used to this school life, as it would be my routine for the 4 years ahead. It is safe to say that I was not even thinking of making it onto the stage and delivering a speech of my own. Wyndcroft has taught me an innumerable amount of lessons in and out of the classroom. This school has prepared all of us so well for the next chapter of our life, as well as the chapters beyond that. The memories I have made here are some that can continue to make me laugh or smile. Oh no. First off, I would like to say thank you to all the teachers who helped me. Oh my God. Throughout the years I have been here, whether it be making time to see me for extra help or explaining a topic in class, everything you have done to me was only beneficial, and I would not be where I am today without you. Next, I would like to say thank you to the class of 2019. I am so thankful I got to go to school with an amazing group of peers and friends, and you made every single day exciting. Some of you I've known for 10 years and some for long, but I will miss going to school with all of you next year. Lastly, I would like to thank my family. To my parents, thank you for making the decision to send me to Wyndcroft. Luckily for you guys, it was an easy decision, but I like to think it is the best one you could have ever made for me so far. From staying up with me at night when I procrastinated yet another assignment, or making sure I stayed on track with my work, you guys have been my biggest supporters. To my sister, I'm sorry I woke you up early this morning. Even though we have our arguments. Ew. I know that I can always count on you to have my back. You're always willing to give me advice, and I'll miss seeing you every day when you're away at college next year. This day is called commencement because it is the beginning of our future. Although we have to say goodbye to what we have known for the past couple of years, we get to begin our high school careers, and today is our first step forward. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Haley Berry.
Hello everyone. Here is a quote from the scientist Nikola Tesla. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. I would like to thank my mother, also what I used to call Muddy when I was little. You helped me get in line, and you always care about my well-being. Thank you. Davey Singer, thank you for being there for me when I need it. Whether it's for homework or for my life, you're always there. Thank you. And also thank you for my dad for also being there. Thank you, Dolly and Stallone, for being my adorable pet friends for me. Although they're not allowed to be in here, I thank them at home. Thank you, Janelle and Bella, for being my friends, and also thank you for everyone in this school. I'd like to commemorate my teachers, such as Ms. Harrison, for being my first and best advisor, my cross-country coach, and head of the student council. Ms. Lindsay, the most artistic and creative teacher, as well as a friend that I know. Mrs. Sula, my current art teacher. Dr. Johnson, an experienced, silly, and scientific doctor. Mr. Valentine for his deadpan humor and for being my fitness coach and the director in the plays that I was in, such as Rock of Ages and Lion King. Madame Val, for being the cutest French-speaking person I will ever know. Though I was never taught by you in French, you tutored me nearly once every week, helping me catch up with the rest of the students who have been studying French for nearly all of their school careers. Ms. Paulus for welcoming me as a student during our first tutoring lesson. I remember when we were reading, I don't know what to say. We were reading the first time and I said pirate instead of private, and she interrupted me and said, "Arr!" Miss Walter, when I told her I had a dream of high-fiving her, she agreed to do it in real life as well. And thank you, Michelle, for introducing me to the Wyndcroft School. She's the reason why I'm here on this podium now. And I have some more. Thank you, Julie Romaine, for letting me into this wonderful Wyndcroft School. And thank you, Mr. Willie and Miss Susie and all the faculty members. I'd now like to introduce Rocco Bressi.
The 3 most difficult things to do in the world. Number 1, you can't count your hair. Number 2, you can't wash your eyes with soap. And number 3, you can't breathe when your tongue is out. Now please put your tongues back inside your mouth. You all look like dogs. I wanted to start off with something funny to calm my nerves, so thanks for helping me out. I would like to thank all the teachers, parents, students, and other family members who came out here today. I have attended the Wyndcroft School for a whopping 3 years. And for all of those school days I thought would never end, I have had a lot of fun. One great memory I remember was when we got to Boston. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and we had a couple of options to choose from to eat. One of them was called the Legendary Hamburger. When the lady who was handing out our food came to our table with her food, she asked, "Who ordered the Legendary Hamburger?" in a really funny voice. My friends and I couldn't stop laughing. I would like to thank my teachers for grading all of my assignments and always encouraging me to do better. I would like to also thank my classmates for always helping me make the most of everything and allowing me to become a better person than I was when I first came here. And finally, I would like to thank my family, Nick, Claire, and Anna. Thank you for being great siblings and always pushing me, sometimes not in the best ways. Thank you, Mom, for always signing my tests, even though you always threaten not to. But really, thank you for continuously telling me not to be negative and to always be happy. Thank you, Dad, for coaching me in basketball and track and field for the past 8 years. And finally, thank you to the rest of my family for always being there to support me. And to all my classmates, wherever you are going next year and in life, good luck, and make the most of everything. Finally, I would like to end with a quote. Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Walt Whitman. Now introducing Colin Brown. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Colin Brown, and I've been at Wyndcroft for basically my whole life. It has been an amazing experience. I've had many memories since I've attended this school. One of my favorite memories at Wyndcroft was when I went into 5th grade. I thought it was so cool that we got lockers and could have our own personal space. From that day on, I told myself that I would keep it clean. So I did for about a week. Then it was messy and stayed like that for most of the year. Same for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Another favorite memory I have of Wyndcroft was of the Boston trip we had this year. We went on the Freedom Trail, which takes you to Boston monuments. We went to Sheer Madness, which is a comical murder mystery and we went to an aquarium where we saw many amazing, unique animals. They were all amazing and unforgettable experiences. Next, I will share a quote. A great attitude becomes a great day, which becomes a great month, which becomes a great year, which becomes a great life. This quote represents how great attitude is the key for a great life. Now, last but not least, on to the thank yous. Firstly, I would like to thank all my teachers and classmates through the years at the school. Next, I would like to thank my family, especially my mom and dad, for sending me to this amazing school and for changing my life forever. I also would like to thank my sister for always being there for me when I needed her most. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce Isabel Conway.
For the past 8 years, I've been a part of this Wyndcroft community, and there's nowhere else I want to spend those 8 years. This community has shaped me into the person I am today, and it really is my second home. I cannot imagine walking in those doors every September and not seeing all the familiar faces. I'm really going to miss it here so much. I'd like to thank my classmates and my teachers for making this school my second home. Sadly, my time here has come to a halting stop. And as I reflect, I am filled with so many mixed feelings. I'm leaving my classmates that I've known my entire life, but we are all going on to do such wonderful things. All of these classmates are my closest friends, my sisters. Janelle, Mina, and Kelly, I'm going to miss you all so much next year. I will never forget all the memories that are too much to share. I love you guys so much. And I'm so proud of all the wonderful things you are going to do. The only reason I, myself, am going on to do wonderful things is because of my family. Family is the most important thing in my life, and is the glue that holds every person together. Families live together, eat together, laugh together, but most importantly, are always there for each other. Without my family, I'll never be the person I am today, and I'd like to thank some of my family members. To start, I'd like to thank my sister, Autumn. You have always been there for me to talk to, laugh with, fight over clothes with, and remind me to have fun. You've been the best big sister, and I hope I wasn't too annoying the past 14 years. I love you so much. Now, I'd like to thank my grandmother, Bum Bum. Thank you so much for everything you have done, ranging from fun to serious. You have always been there for me, and I cannot imagine my life without you. I will miss having you come up to Grandparents' Day, seeing you on Sundays whenever we want, and having you come up to play cards. Although when I go to Blair in September, I won't see you as often, you will always be in my heart. I love you to the moon and back. Next, I'd like to thank my mom. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best and take a break to breathe. I will always remember the help with all the school projects and summer reading books. I won't see you as much next year, but I will miss you very much. I love you. Now, I'd like to thank Donna. You've done everything for me since I could remember, and I could not have made it through these 8 years without you. Endless pickups, last-minute store runs, early morning uniform washings, and of course, proofreading of reports. You didn't have a chance to read this one, but I hope it's okay. You've taught me how to be a good young woman, and I could never imagine my life without you. Fate brought us together, and I was meant to be your daughter. I love you more than you know. Now, the best for last, my dad. I made it. You have done everything for me, and you are the reason I'm here today. From our singing sessions in the car every morning to when you hold me when I cry, you have built the person I am today, and I can't express in words how much you mean to me. You are my world. I'm going to miss you so much next year. You have no idea. I love you forever and always. All these people made me who I am today, and I do not want to leave this community. I like to end my speech with a quote by Billy Joel. Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes, and I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye again. I would like to introduce Kelly Dempsey.
Let's go back to the very beginning of 3rd grade. On orientation day, I wore a jean vest that will forever haunt me. I am sorry to everyone who experienced me wearing that. I am also sorry to my past self. Why did I think that was a good idea? I don't know the answer to that, but it happened and it's in the past. Now let's fast forward to 5th grade. Wow, it feels like it was just yesterday. I remember doing all the riddles in Mr. Cox's advisory and are also Mr. Ty Chapel. Now the grade field hockey season. That was a great season. We went undefeated. It was something I will never forget, seeing my team running up to me when we won our last game. I will also never forget our 6th grade social studies class. Now, let's go to the present. This year has gone by so fast. I made a lot of new friends and got closer with older ones. We went undefeated in field hockey again, and I couldn't have asked for a better field hockey team. I will never forget the moment when everyone ran up to me and gave me a hug. We went undefeated in lacrosse too. It was an amazing experience, and I couldn't ask for a better season. Good luck, Ryan, next year in goal. I know you'll do great. Hopefully I can do this without crying too much. I never thought I would be going to a different school than my best friend, Bella. I am going to miss you so much next year you don't even know. I can't wait to be on the field hockey field and stopping every goal you shoot on me, and if you make it, I'll be very mad. Good luck next year. Juliana, I will miss you so much. I know you do great things at Blair. To everyone that isn't going to Hill, good luck. To everyone who is going to Hill, I hope we can make it the best 4 years of our lives. Now to the person I can sing High School Musical with any day, Maeve. I will miss you so much next year. I hope you enjoy your 8th grade year, and I hope to see you at Hill in 2 years. Dr. Johnson, I want to thank you for telling me that I needed to become a vet, because that just makes me even more motivated to do it. Also, I'm sorry for falling asleep during astronomy class this year. Now to the people who made me who I am today, Ryan, Aaron, and Meg. I wouldn't be who I am without you guys. Thanks for always wanting me to do the best. I couldn't ask for any better siblings. Love you guys. Mom, thank you for everything. Thank you for pushing me to come to Wyndcroft because I would have been bored out of my mind at PP. I love you. Dad, thanks for everything. Thanks for always pushing me to do better. I love you. Mama, thanks for driving me to school and when my parents couldn't and making me pancakes all the time. Thanks to everyone for making me a better person. Goodbyes are not forever, they're not the end. It simply means I will miss you until we meet again. Now I'd like to introduce Patrick Dolhoff.
I'd like to start my speech off with a quote that means a great deal to me. People said nothing was impossible, but I do nothing every day. Said the brilliant Winnie the Pooh creator, written by A. Milne. The quote means so much to me. As someone who does nothing most afternoons, it's nice to know I can achieve the impossible. Now, speaking of nothing, I'd like to share my favorite story of nothing. I was in 7th grade and I was about to have lunch. I had one of those Kraft mac and cheese cook-up things, and I was very hungry. I put one in the microwave immediately without thinking. In 2 minutes, Christian noticed that the microwave smelled like smoke. We took it out and were so confused what happened to the macaroni. You see, I was supposed to add water, but instead I added nothing. It turns out nothing can cause a lot of excitement. We had to move from the cell, and I have not seen that microwave seen again. I'd like to thank my family for helping me with all 14 years of my life. To my brother, with helping me with nothing. To my dad, for always persuading me to do more, for convincing me to do more than I thought I could. And to my mom, for always helping me, staying up late when I procrastinated my 2-page essay, for not getting mad at me when I failed my test and signed it without telling Dad. Thank you all. But sincerely, I have done a lot at this school. I've been here for 10 years since pre-K. I have gone through so much from counting in pre-K all the way to the end of Algebra 1. I've learned 2 languages and made many friends. As I leave Wyndcroft and go to Hill School on my new adventure, I figure out that I haven't done nothing but something. I've learned at Wyndcroft and I've done something at Wyndcroft. Thank you all. Now please welcome Emmanuel Geishauser.
I am in fact the new kid, and we all know what it feels like to be the new kid. Whether it be first day of pre-K, high school, or even college. You feel distant from the group, out of place, awkward, and separate. I thought Wyndcroft would be just like other schools when I went to it. But because it was worth a shot, I took the chance and shadowed Rocco Bresci, who I now call my friend. He left a lasting impression for his school. He was a smart kid, kind and helpful. He showed me all the amazing things that Wyndcroft had to offer and introduced me to a whole crowd of students eager to welcome me to their community. I knew in an instant that I wanted to go here after a few seconds in math and social studies. My two favorite subjects, were made better just by who was teaching it. I love the smaller class size and personalized teaching, and relationships between students and teachers. I saw firsthand what this could do. These students were on another level for me. They solved math problems in the blink of an eye, and they knew more historical elements from one class than I knew in my whole life. In fact, even though I don't want to admit it, I think Maeve knows more, as a 7th grader, knows more U.S. history than me. I was amazed by everything here, and I wanted to be a part of it, so I applied for Wyndcroft and tried to make my way through the rest of the year at Exeter. After I got the news that I was accepted, I was ready to attend the school of my dreams. On my first day, I was excited. I wasn't shy. I was eager to meet everyone, because I knew Wyndcroft wasn't like other schools. Usually everyone hates the new kid, but just from shadowing day, I knew it was going to be different. And I was right. I developed strong, prosperous friendships with both students and faculty, with an education level like no other. It was the full package in one school. Because of Wyndcroft, I feel so much more prepared for high school than I could have anywhere else. I'm so grateful for everything Wyndcroft has given me in 1 year. There are so many people who have made such an impact on my life. I'd like to thank Rocco Bresci for making such a great first impression for Wyndcroft. My mom and dad for supporting me. All the faculty and staff. I lost my place. And a special thank you to Mrs. Borgenson, who made this day possible. To Dr. Johnson, who has believed and tolerated me for the whole year while being an awesome storyteller, science teacher, and homeroom teacher. I believe that coming to Wyndcroft was the best decision I ever could have made. The best part is, even though I haven't been here for 1 year, I don't feel like the new kid anymore. I know that because I'm part of the Wyndcroft community, and now Wyndcroft is part of me. I'd like to introduce Jake Mitchell.
Good morning, Wyndcroft. First, I have to give a big congratulations to the 2019 graduating class. From each of our first days here to the very last, and every little moment in between, we have made it. I can remember my first day at Lindy, when I was in early childhood. Walked in, all confident, proudly wearing my Batman t-shirt and my Superman backpack strapped on. I saw the 8th grade Giants and immediately clinched my mom's leg. It's crazy to think those 8th graders are us now. As I was getting ready to go into the classroom, I began to cry and beg for my mom to take me home. And it happened the next day, the day after that. And if I'm going to be honest, most likely every single day until that school year ended. But hey, look at me now. I'm standing up here graduating, cry-free. The decision for my parents to send me here was the best gift I could have ever received, not only for myself, but all my siblings. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me 100% support, love, and 100% belief in me throughout these 11 years. You signed all the good and bad grades, helped me through long hours of homework, gave me open arms for hugs when you were proud, and when I wasn't so proud of myself. I wouldn't be standing up here without you two. I love you so much. Maddie, Lauren, and Sam, thank you for being the best siblings I could have asked for. We don't always get along, but the best siblings never do. Adds character. Love you guys. A huge shout out to my grandparents, Gaga, Mama, Papa, and Papa, for being the most caring and more people in my life. You spoil me too well. Thank you to the class of 2019, which holds some of my closest friends for life. All of our greatest memories at school, and especially at Boston, will stick with me forever. For those of you I won't be going to high school with next year, I'll be cheering you on from afar. I would say good luck, but you don't need it. And to everyone I will be going to high school with this upcoming fall, see ya. I would now like to end with a quote by John Bon Jovi. Nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you do with your life, be passionate. The world doesn't need any more gray. On the other hand, we can't get enough color. Mediocrity is nobody's goal, and perfection shouldn't be either. We'll never be perfect. Remember these 3 P's. Passion plus persistence equals possibility. I would now like to introduce Scotty Mulaney.
I've been at Wyndcroft for 11 years, and I cannot believe it is over. From playing with dolls in early childhood with McKay to attempting to learn my numbers in pre-K. Yes, I said attempting. I remember in kindergarten singing with Mrs. Carls with Colin and Jake, and in first grade doing all the mad minutes trying to finish in time. In second grade, hoping my name got picked for the prize of the week, and I still have my bonnet from when we went to the Amish country in third grade. Fourth grade was our first sleepaway camp, and I was so nervous. Ever since fifth grade, it has all gone by so quickly. From trying to memorize our poems for study skills to the French Revolution and social studies. What fun! Seventh grade crochet club was so intense. From our Boston trip to finishing my children's book the night before, it really has gone by so fast. I want to thank Mrs. Spatz, Pre-K rocks, Mrs. G for helping figure out all those math problems. She's still the only person who understands how great the beach is. To Mrs. Harrison for loving beluga whales as much as I do, and for being there when I most needed it. I will definitely miss you all, and I know you'll miss me singing every morning in advisory at the top of my lungs. To my mom for being my biggest supporter. Thank you for bringing my things to school when I forgot them, even though Mrs. Dunn told you not to. To my dad for being with me for all my projects that I forgot to do until the last minute. Love you both. Now to Johnny, you're an amazing little brother. I love you so much, and I wish you the best of luck next year at your new school. To all my family that are here today, you guys have helped me, push me to be my best, and supported me. I love you all. I would like to thank my Lola for helping me with all my homework questions, for altering my dresses the night before the dance. To my Aunt Kim, who has helped me and been my second mom at Wyndcroft. To Roxanne for always picking me up on car line, either with barking dogs or a screaming baby. I couldn't appreciate you more. Here's a quote that really inspires me, and it's from Mr. D, even though he's a Mets fan. This quote is from Mookie Wilson, a retired baseball player. When I'm in a slump, I comfort myself by saying I believe in dinosaurs. Then somewhere they must be believing in me. And if they believe in me, I can believe in me. This quote reminds me about how much I love my experience at Wyndcroft. This school has really taught me to be my best version of myself and how to push through things. It has really been a rewarding middle school experience. I will miss my friends, my teachers, and all those times I got sent out of social studies because I couldn't handle it. I'll miss sleeping through my alarm, my mom rushing me out the door to get me here on time. I'll miss the place where I grew up. But I know it's time for the next chapter in my story. Thanks again, Mom and Dad, for sending me to a truly great place. I love you. Now I'd like to introduce Kushi Patel.
What feels like the end is often the beginning. I remember walking into Mrs. Brown's second grade class not knowing anyone. Little did I know that those 8-year-olds would turn into lifelong friends. I will never forget our 5th grade study skills classes with Mrs. Schmidt, our 5th grade French classes with Madame Fath where we played hockey with our pencils, and my 5th grade cloud people with Mrs. Harrison. I always look forward to basketball season and particularly had a blast in 7th grade and will miss playing with Joy in the years to come. I will miss you. This past year has been one of my favorite years at Wyndcroft, with memories made in class, in Boston, or on the sports field. I will forever remember pulling an April Fool's prank in math on the boys, our morning advisories where we always got in trouble for being too loud, and our crazy social studies classes always ending in someone getting in trouble. I would like to thank all my teachers for putting up with me. I know sometimes I could be a bit too loud and crazy during class, and I'm sorry. Thank you for all that you have done for me. You have pushed me to become the best version of myself. Thank you, Mrs. Pauls, for everything, and I mean everything. You have shaped me into the writer I am today, and I will forever be grateful. I would also like to thank Mrs. Akabuchi for being an amazing math teacher. You have helped me become an amazing math student. I'll miss having teachers like you around next year. I would like to thank my parents for giving me this opportunity to go to Wyndcroft and always being my biggest supporters. I'm so lucky to have parents like you. Mom, thank you for always helping me study, for always staying up with me to do my last-minute projects, for always believing in me, and for being the best mom ever. Words cannot express how thankful I am for everything you have done for me. I love you. Dad, thank you for always making me laugh with your jokes that I always hate at first and for always cheering me on. Thank you for always going out of your way to drop me off every morning so I could wake up later than I normally have to. You're the best dad ever. I love you. I would like to thank my aunt and uncle for being my second parents, who have helped me and supported me along the way. Thank you for always being there for me. I love you. Vivi, Yogi, and Tilak. Everyone views you as my cousins, but in my eyes, you guys are the most incredible siblings anyone could ask for. Vivi, thank you for always helping me with whatever I need whenever I asked. Yogi and Tilak, thank you for always helping me, making me laugh with the dumb things you do, and for all the basketball games outside. I love you and I can't imagine life without you. I would like to thank my grandparents for always taking my side whenever I get in trouble. You mean the world to me. I love you. Most importantly, I would like to thank my guru, Mahan Swami Maharaj, for always guiding me and making me the strong person I am today. To my classmates, good luck in high school. Thank you for making my 7 years at Wyndcroft so special. I'll miss you guys so much next year. I would now like to introduce Janelle Robinson.
I still remember my first memory at Wyndcroft. I was nervous about my first day at first grade. Everyone welcomed me with open arms. I also made a friend that day, who is now one of my best friends. Carrington, I remember you asking me to sit with you on the bus ride home, because you said that I looked lonely. Going to a new school was a big change, but it was worth it in the end. I'm really going to miss my class in grade next year for all the funny memories. Social studies with Mr. Lay, when Patrick broke Madame Russell's cup, and Latin class. In my Wyndcroft career, I've grown tremendously. From my early days as a first grader in Mrs. O'Brien's class to being a graduating 8th grader. At Wyndcroft, I've grown to be an independent, hardworking student. These are important qualities that I can carry with me into high school and beyond. I have so many people to thank that have helped and supported me through everything. Thank you to all my teachers and coaches who have helped to prepare me for the next step, high school. I can't even put into words how thankful I am for my parents. They've been there for me. With last-minute late-night projects, cheered for me on the sidelines of my games, and supported me unconditionally with some of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make. Especially when I had to make my high school decision within 10 minutes, which stressed me out so much to the point where I cried. And Dad, thank you so much for just supporting me and always being there when I need you most. I love you so much. Mom, thank you. Mom, thank you for always being there as someone who was, someone who would always make me feel better when I'm down. I love you very much too. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me. And I love you both to the moon and back, as my mom would say. Jaden, sometimes even though you annoy me a lot, and I mean a lot, I still love you so much. You always have my back even if no one else does. You better miss me while I'm gone. Thank you to my best friends, you know who you are. You guys have been there for all the good times, the bad times, and all the funny moments. I can't believe I won't see some of you next year, but I hope you have the best of luck at your new schools. I love you all. Even though this chapter in my life has ended, another is beginning. It's time to say goodbye, but I think goodbyes are sad, and I'd much rather say hello. Hello to a new adventure. Ernie Harwell. I would now like to introduce Maddie Rolfing.
Graduation is the idea of slowly moving on to something new and bigger. Whether it is moving up a grade or transferring into a higher class, it makes us feel confident and positive about ourselves. Today, we are here to say goodbye to our middle school years and move on to the next chapter of our lives. Wyndcroft has definitely been a tough journey full of rigorous classes and hard work, but it was fun and we'd laugh all the time. In 5th grade, we were nervous to begin upper school, but found out it wasn't scary. Then, in 6th grade, we joined the athletic teams and mastered the tenses in French and Latin. In 7th, our class went through the science fair process and dissected many animals. And ending with our 8th grade year, we were the leaders of our school and learned what it was like to be a role model to younger students. We traveled to Boston, where we bonded as a grade and made so many memories that I will cherish forever. Starting from the first day of 4th grade and ending with today, Wyndcroft has raised me to be the mature, confident, and independent person I am standing here today. My years through Wyndcroft could not have been possible without all my teachers, my friends, and my family. I'd like to take the time to thank all of my teachers and coaches who dedicated their professional lives to thinking and caring about us. Thank you for pushing me to do my best and always believing in me. Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for being a great advisor and teaching me valuable life lessons, as well as how to play poker. Thank you, Mom and Dad, and to all my family here, what you have done for me. I could not have gotten through Wyndcroft without your love and support. I love you both, Mom and Dad. Lastly, thank you, Pierce, for your love and support, even though you don't really show it. Next year is not going to be the same without you flat tiring me in the hallways. And finally, thank you to all of my classmates. I'm honored to call all of you my friends, and I can't imagine what classes will be like next year without you guys. Thank you for all the funny moments. I will treasure them forever. All the decisions we chose along the journey in middle school shaped us to be who we are right now. In the next 4 years of our life, we will never forget what happened here at Wyndcroft, the opportunities given to us, and the memories we have created together. There is nothing like a memory to mark the past, and there is nothing like a dream to create the future, unknown. And now to introduce Romo Shaw.
Wow, I can't believe I have made it through 5,760 long hours at Wyndcroft since I started here in 5th grade. It sounds like a long time when you think about it, but it has surprisingly gone by fast. I realized I wouldn't have made it through without any help along the way. And I definitely owe some thanks. Mom, thank you for helping me throughout this journey. You have provided me with support in everything I have done here at Wyndcroft and outside of school. Thank you for reading my Latin essays and other papers I have asked you to check for errors at 1 a.m. I definitely wouldn't have received all the science fair awards last year without your help. I know I'm difficult sometimes, but you put up with me and you have done so much for me, and I can't thank you enough. Dad, thank you. Thank you for always putting pressure on me and constantly telling me to strive for greatness. I do appreciate all of your tough love. Raina, even though we sometimes don't agree, you are a great sister and you make me laugh when I'm down. I'm looking forward to being in the same school as you again, so we can see each other more often. To my grandparents, thank you for driving from far to be here today. Every time I see you, you always put a smile on my face. I love you guys very much. To all of my teachers here at Wyndcroft, I am grateful for all that you have taught me throughout these years. It's not all been work. I've had some fun here too. My favorite Wyndcroft memories include going to Penn State last year for the PJAS State Science Fair, beating Swain this year in our nail-biter basketball game, and our trip to Boston. To my classmates, in the famous words of Dr. Seuss, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Good luck to all of you, wherever your paths lead. I know that you will all go on to do great things. I'm glad I will see many of you next year in high school as we continue our educational journey. As today's graduation comes to an end, let's not cry because it's over. Let's smile because it happened. I would now like to introduce Alex Sim.
It has been a great 10 years at Wyndcroft and watching my peers grow and mature into the young adults they are today. This family taught me many things and told us to strive into a better person. Yes, I may have sometimes ignored their constructive criticism, but after some time I realized that it helped me become the person I stand in today. One thing I learned is not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. This thought helped me get through a difficult time 2 years ago. My home was attacked by arsonists with me inside of it. This was a struggle getting out of my home, which made this experience the most traumatic I've ever so far endured. My belongings and sentimental objects were gone. It was very painful for me at first, but the support and kindness that everyone provided me at Wyndcroft made me grateful to have such amazing friends. I will never forget the kind prayers and gestures and gifts I received afterwards. Thank you. There were many experiences I had at Wyndcroft, but the most fun and recent was at Boston. Shopping at Quincy Market and seeing amazing animals at the aquarium. Waking up late at Boston and playing board games with Manny at 12 a.m. were the best parts of the trip. To the ones who pay for all my trips and education. Mom and Pop, thank you for being the best, funniest, and coolest annoying parents in the world. Thank you, Mom, for staying up with me until 12 a.m. working on last-minute projects. Thank you, Pop, for not getting mad at me for making Mom work with me when I really should have been doing it myself. Thank you, Anj and Sid for getting in trouble 24/7 and knowing who the favorite is. Sitting and watching the petty fights is the best family sitcom ever. Also, thank you, Sunny the dog, for barking night to morning, looking at your own reflection. Thank you for being the most annoying and best alarm clock ever. All jokes aside, thank you, Mom, Pop, Anj, Sid, for being there for me. I didn't even ask for it. I may not say enough, but I really do love you guys. Here are some quotes that I want you to hear before we head to our new journeys. When you leave here, don't forget why you came. When you take risks, you learn that there may be times when you succeed and there will be times when you fail, and both are equally important. Ellen DeGeneres. I appreciate what you have done for me, class of 2019. Your encouragement, kindness, heart, and spirit are why I'm proud to call you family. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Gavin.
Today might be only one day in history, but in our academic experience, it's a huge step into the future. My fellow classmates and I will graduate from the school with a bountiful amount of knowledge. We had our ups and downs with our grades and relationships, but in the end, it was a great experience for all of us. Graduation is a great thing for everyone. It's always a monumental amount in anyone's academic career. It was only 2 years ago when I began at Wyndcroft. I began in 7th grade as the new kid, but to no surprise, I felt accepted and welcomed by the great community. That 7th grade, looking back, was one of my favorite times of my life. It includes so many things, like some great books in Mrs. Farr's LA class, a beginning in algebra in Mrs. Akabuchi math class, and learning about ancient Roman history in Latin class. My second year and final year was not only a good one, but the best one. Our class went on a wonderful field trip to Boston, Massachusetts. Another great part of the year was learning about the world wars in Mr. Lay's social studies class, and of course watching CNN 10, depending on our behavior. I also had extreme interest in learning about the ideas and tides in Dr. Johnson's class, and being able to do a data report on Bermuda. Wyndcroft sports was also a great and almost essential part of my time here. I continued soccer, a sport I'd done since I was young, and I was able to greatly improve my skills. I also began lacrosse here. Lacrosse grew me as a sport, and thanks to Wyndcroft, it's now one of my favorite sports I've ever participated in. Although my time at Wyndcroft may have been shorter than most of my classmates, I had a great time here. Going to Wyndcroft was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. I would like to thank my parents for letting me come here, and although you get on my nerves sometimes, I'd like to thank my siblings, Cooper and Addison. There's many more I'd like to thank, but I believe my time here to end my speech. On my time at Wyndcroft with only 2 words, thank you. I'd now like to introduce Nicholas Valerian.
Did you know that you can't breathe when you're smiling? I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see you all smile. My 10 years at Wyndcroft have contained so many awesome memories. These memories range from the first yearbook signing in pre-K to the 8th grade trip to Boston. I remember graduation in pre-K and not wanting to put on the white robes that we wore. I loved the first grade field trip to Longwood Gardens and climbing into the tree houses. I remember the time when the fire alarm went off in 2nd grade and my shoe came off and I had to go back and get it. I also was so excited to go on my first of many overnight field trips in 4th grade. The first time going to Camp Conrad Weiser was awesome. The weather was so nice and the things we did there were so fun. The next year was so bad though because it rained all the time. The same thing happened at Echo Hill the next 2 years. Although the weather at Boston was amazing, all 4 days it was sunny with the exception of it being overcast for a few hours each day. The past 10 years at Wyndcroft have been a huge adventure, and I'm sure that the years after we leave will be too. Even though we are going to different schools, we have all come so far to be in this position, which brings me to the last part of my speech, the thank-you-names. This is the part where most people cry, and I really don't know if I'm going to cry or not, but hopefully I can make it through. So here we go. Thank you to all of my classmates. If you guys weren't a part of my education experience so far, it would not have been as fun as it was. Thank you to all of my teachers for helping me on this journey. Without all of you, I would not be here. Thank you, Dad, for being there to look over my math tests and turning what should be a 5-minute going over of what I got wrong into a 37-minute lecture about the parts of a quadratic equation. I thank you so much, because even though I probably didn't look like I was listening, I was. Thank you, Mom, for not freaking out if I got a bad grade. Thank you for taking me to school all the time I was not riding the bus and picking me up. I love you so much. Thank you both for being my parents, because there aren't any in the world I would rather have than you. I would now like to introduce Christian Vanelli.
I hope if you learn anything from me today, you learn to remember the power of the pause. Pausing allows you to take a beat, to take a breath in your life. As everybody else is rushing around like a lunatic out there, I dare you to do the opposite. Remember to pause and reflect. Maria Shriver. As some of the most important people in our lives sit right here in front of us, I think we should take a moment to appreciate what we have, what God has given all of us, and the steps we take to grow ourselves and the others around us. My parents sent me here when I was in kindergarten, and it was the best possible decision they have made for me and for my brothers. They wanted us to have the best possible experience and education that we could get as children. And they thought Wyndcroft would do just that. Even though I had zero, absolutely no choice at all, I'm glad they made it for us. I remember on my first day, I walked into Mrs. Collins' classroom and saw Jake and Regan playing with the castle. I thought to myself, oh no, this is my life for the next 10 years. The day only got better from there. I remember when I was going into 5th grade, finally getting into upper school, then my brothers told me that I had to do more summer reading than I was used to. That's when I realized it wasn't going to be as fun as I thought. I, like many other 10-year-olds, was a procrastinator, and I thought it would be easy to get all the reading done quickly. It was not easy at all. So there I was, the day before my 5th grade started, with none of my book reports done or any of my books read. Let's just say that I didn't sleep that night, but I never would have finished them without my family being there to keep me up all night, and for that, I thank you. I would like to thank my Nonna, Mama, and Papa, and especially my Peppy, who I know is looking over us from heaven. I would like to thank you, Mom and Dad, on behalf of me and my brothers, for everything you have done for us, in and out of the school over the past 12 years. And thanks for putting up with us arguing over the most irrelevant things possible. And thank you, Michael and Ben, for not mentioning me in either of your speeches, but mentioning each other, because now I can be the bigger person. So let's give one final cheer for Wyndcroft, for the class of the century. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Stuart Anzetta.
Good morning. I know you all just listened to 20 other speeches, so by all means, feel free to tune me out. When something bad happens, you have 3 choices. You can either let it define you, let it destroy you, or let it strengthen you. Unknown. When something bad came my way, I would let it define and destroy me. I would completely shut down. I let my mistakes define and control me. Mrs. Philman, you taught me that it's okay to make mistakes and to learn from them and let them strengthen me. I will carry this lesson with me to my high school years and beyond. I could always come to you and ramble about whatever was on my mind. You made such an impact on my Wyndcroft career, and I am forever grateful. I would like to say thank you to my friends and family for always supporting me. Mom and Dad, thank you for all the opportunities you have given me. To the class of 2019, I would call you brothers and sisters, but you're more like cousins, because when you would start to annoy me, I could just go home. Each of you have taught me a lesson, whether I know it now or will realize it later. Thank you. I will miss each and every one of you. Trust me, I am just as surprised as you are. Today, my classmates and I move on to the next chapters of our lives. We will all write our own story. Each story will be different, but they will be filled with great success and challenges. I wish you all the best of luck in your high school careers. God bless the class of 2019. Thank you.
The class of 2019 has given a gift in their name to the school. And here to present the class gift are Student Council co-presidents Rocco Bresci and Haley Berry.
Mrs. Walter, the class of 2019 would like to give this gift that will allow the school to update both the stage light and soundboards for the next generation of Wyndcroft students.
At Wyndcroft, we demand a great deal of effort on the part of each student. This is not one of those schools where success can be attained with just a minimum amount of work. A great deal of effort, sacrifice, and self-discipline and good time management characterize the last years of a student's life at Wyndcroft. All the graduates you see here today have excelled in a challenging, rigorous course of study. Traditionally now, we recognize the particular student who attained the highest level of academic achievement in all major subjects. Before I bestow this award, I'd just like to say that this was an incredibly tight race this year. In fact, the top 4 students were only 2 percentage points apart. And the number 1 and number 2 are separated by less than 0.3%. Amazing, right? The recipient of our highest scholastic honors is not only an outstanding scholar who always gives 100%, but a truly fine young person with a wide range of talents. The award for the highest scholastic rank for the class of 2019 is presented to Kushi Patel. Next, I'd like to welcome Ms. Mackenzie Schultz, the winner of the 2018 Wyndcroft Cup, to the stage. She's going to help me with the next part. Each year, the graduates of Wyndcroft are accepted into the very best secondary schools and then move on to the nation's finest colleges. They are across the board a very impressive group of young people. So how do we distinguish just one? How do we define the student who will receive the honor of the Wyndcroft Cup? Well, the faculty begins with the criteria of academic achievement, sportsmanship, and service, and yet they seek the student who best embodies the school motto of non-sibi, which means not for oneself, but for the greater good of all. The Wyndcroft Cup for the class of 2019 is presented to a student who truly exhibits all of these qualities: a fine student, an athlete, a leader, and a kind individual who is known as a positive force across the whole school. And Mackenzie will now present the Wyndcroft Cup for 2019 to Isabella Conway. She looks surprised. Well, all these young people have worked very hard in their years at Wyndcroft, and their award, their diploma, comes now. They'll receive their proof of graduation, and I now call Mrs. Bernadette Sparling, President of the Trustees, the Board of Trustees, to the stage, and she is going to present the certificates of graduation to all the members of the class of 2019. Attaining these certificates is no mean feat, so please feel free to applaud for each and every recipient. Nina Salahuddin Ali. McKay Elise Allen. Isha Ampani. Haley Chevelle Berry. Rocco Michael Bresci. Colin Andrew Brown. Isabella Michelle Conway. Kelly Ann Dempsey. Patrick John Dahlhoff. Emmanuel Joseph Geishauser. Jake Robert Mitchell. Dipin Patel. Janelle Paige Robinson. Madeline May Rolfing. Romil M. Shaw. Alexander Joseph Singh. Gavin Summers Smith. Nicholas Edward Valeray. Christian Joseph Vinelli. Juliana Tatiana Zweifel. Our dearest graduates, I know you have all heard this before, but it bears repeating. All Wyndcroft students, but especially you, are the luckiest kids in the world. The very first class of our second century. You may not understand how lucky you really are until later in life. Wyndcroft has shaped your early years, and your parents have given you an incredible gift to sending you to Wyndcroft. Here you are emerging confident, poised, prepared to succeed at the very best secondary schools and beyond. Over the past several years, you've worked and studied, you've practiced and played and grown both mentally as well as physically. And here you are now, ready to start the next part of your life. Whatever course your future takes, it is our sincere hope that you will look back on your years here as having prepared you to meet and deal with the challenges life will present. Take with you those lessons of non-CB and leadership. On behalf of myself, the faculty and staff, I wish each and every one of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of your fellow human beings, and the love of your family. May the future be yours. You were a great class, in fact, one of the best. We love you. We won't forget you. Don't forget Wyndcroft. One of you could still be that first alum to give the $1 million. Remember, we will always welcome you home. God bless. Today we say goodbye, hard to believe, to 13 different families who have long been a part of Wyndcroft since their early days. Now they've come to the end of the Wyndcroft part of their family's journey. We will miss you all. We would also like to thank all of our parents, all the parents of our graduates, for the unconditional love and support. We have 4 members of this class that they're our lifers. That means they've grown up at Wyndcroft from 8th grade. Carly, Colin, Jake, and McKay, they're going to start us off as the first students. But each graduate is going to come down to present their parents with a rose of gratitude. Okay, the rest of you may also go down. There's a couple of people that are going to come up on behalf of our folks on crutches. At this same time, I would like to welcome the Wyndcroft Singers to the front stage. The Wyndcroft Singers traditionally send the graduating class on their way with a song. And here they are now singing 93 Million Miles.
You're Looking deeper through the telescope, you can see that your home's inside of you. Just know, wherever you go, no, you're never alone. You can always come back get ready, 'cause here it comes, it's a light, a beautiful light, over the horizon into our eyes.
I invite the entire audience to please stand now and join with us in singing the Wyndcroft alma mater. The words are in your program.
Through the years that lie before us, with all that's grim and gay, we will swell the joyful chorus we are singing here today. So let's give a cheer for Wyndcroft, for the yellow and the blue, and to Wyndcroft, dear old Wyndcroft, we will be forever true. After all these years together, since our school days were begun, we'll forget the cloudy weather and recall the breeze and sun. So let's give a cheer for Wyndcroft, for the yellow and the blue, and to Wyndcroft, dear old Wyndcroft, we will be forever true.
I ask you all now to remain standing for the recession of the class of 2019. Alexander Joseph Singh. Juliana Tatiana Zweifel. Janelle Paige Robinson. Nina Salahuddin Ali. Madeline May Rolfe. Haley Chevelle Berry. Isha Ampani. Christian Joseph Finelli. Kushi Dipin Patel. Carly Francis Mulaney. Patrick John Dolphin. Jake Robert Mitchell. McKay Elise Allen. Gavin Summers Valerie. Emmanuel Joseph Dicehauser. Parents and families of the graduates, we have programs in the back with the names of the award winners inscribed. So please make sure when you take